What's up? What's up, you guys? Sorry we're a few minutes late, but we are getting ready to get started. We are waiting on Kerry D, but we're going to go ahead and get started and just kind of chop it up and talk a little bit about last week's episode of Chasing Dallas while we get everybody together. So I want to introduce my folks on the panel. We have my big sis, Every Reviews, as always. I know she is always slayed, honey. Look at that. I love that makeup, girl. You looking good, girl.
Yes, I
got my boy. Out. Yes, a TV in the house tonight. Hello. We have the little bratty ass little brother.
What up? What's good, people? What's good?
And we have a version tonight, you guys. We have somebody that has no. We have somebody that is new joining us. He's not new. His YouTube channel is not new. And he does reviews and has great conversations and stuff over there. So I invited him to come over, and he was gracious enough to join us. So I want to let you guys know, show some love to giving you the real tea, honey.
Hey y'all, what's happening?
Giving you the best.
Every time I do that, I want to sing the same thing. I want to sing "Give You the Best That I Got."
I need a baker.
Hey everybody in the chat, Shondo.
Hello, everybody in the chat. My girl Belize is in the chat. She about to cut up because that's what she does.
Always cut up.
You know,
act right, Belize. Act right tonight.
No, Belize went to all of our channels asking about them shoulder pads on camera.
You know what?
What's good, Jonathan? What's good, Fi?
What's up, Jonathan? Bernadette Vlogs.
Hey,
Miguel, David. What's up? The Voice ASMR. Everybody. If I hold on, I think I missed somebody. Jay Parrish.
Mama.
Hey, Kiana. Hey, Kiana, Capricorn. David. Hi, you guys. Welcome everybody to the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So overall, this week's episode, I mean, we know it seemed like the two most controversial moments of this week's episode was the situation with Rock and his interaction with Womack. And then of course the chair, what they call the episode musical chairs, was the chair situation. And so, first of all, we were having a really good conversation in the back in reference to the whole Rock situation, but let's just kind of chop that up a little bit more. So, when Rock said that he didn't want to be referred to as girl, myself and Abby were kind of like, what's the big deal? If he say he don't want to be called a girl, then they should respect it. What's the big deal? Now, the people that we defer to on the panel who have an insight that Ebony and I don't have, they sort of have a different opinion. So giving you the real tea, you knew, so I'm gonna let you start off and tell us what was your reaction in that moment when Rock was just like, was it his energy? Was it the way he said it?
I would say it was the way he said it, but at the end of the day, I really don't feel like he was in the wrong for saying, hey, listen, please don't call me a girl because I got a Diaga and balls between my legs. I don't feel like he's wrong for that.
I can't hear anything. Okay.
I don't feel like he was wrong for that.
No.
Okay. And El Teddy, we know how you felt in your video. You was like, child. Really?
I don't.
Okay. Oh, you asking my opinion? Oh, okay.
Giving you the real tea. Let me just let you know. El Teddy is my bratty little brother, so just bear with us.
I'm a little brother too. I get it.
Okay.
So we will get along just fine.
Anyway, as I sip it on some wine, lubricate. Listen, like I was telling them backstage, I have been to get-togethers in Miami when Rock was living in Miami, when he was the dorm dad for Coco Dorm and stuff like that. And we were at house parties, and his friends, the people at the house party, they referenced him as girl because it was a gay function.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe he don't feel that way no more.
Wait, I ain't finished. You just butting in. Hello.
Oh, girl. Ooh.
Okay. Wait, Jesus.
But what I'm saying is this: it wasn't a big deal. Then, and I would venture to tell you, that before that camera came on and when they were gathering themselves and going there, Kane probably said and called somebody girl several times over. That would have been the time before the cameras came on and said, "Hey, bro, I don't really care for people calling me girl like that. You know, so, you know, if you can, just don't mention me as girl." And he didn't. He did not refer to Rock as girl. And that's why it just wasn't believable, because girl is something that gay men throw out all the time. So they did that. I know he had done that before they came on the camera, and he could have had that conversation. I'll buy it. Just like Womack. I agree with that. You know who?
Well, that's was going to be my next question. Yeah. Why do you think Trey Womack had all that shade? Because I didn't believe Trey either. Now, I don't watch gay porn, but the way that all of y'all have made a big deal about Rock and what he has been to the gay porn community, I was even sitting there going, "Come on now, Trey."
Trey was lying. He was lying. He was lying, and I said that on my review. He's a lie.
You did.
He liked it. He just wants to be at the top like George. He don't want to. Yeah.
I said on my channel where he tried to say, "Oh, well, I wasn't that impressed by his dick." Girl, you are lying. You are lying. If anything you know about Rock, one thing you know about Rock, oh, Rock got big stuff.
You better believe it.
Everybody collectively says.
You better believe it. You better bet your ass about that one.
Swing.
So Trey Womack, I don't believe is packing like that, where he could be side-eyeing people meet like that. Shut.
You mean he not? Because I followed him on Instagram, but y'all ain't hear that from me. Don't go spread no rumors. But I'm just saying, from what I saw, it won't that big. Maybe that's what it was. He was intimidating. I don't know.
Well, he did make a mention about something about he don't like big, he like it small. So I was like, if you already don't like, you know, big peen, then are you really in a position to be judging? I'm just saying.
Sure.
Anybody in the chat? Is there anybody in Rock's meat? If you're in the chat, you say Rock's meat. Would you put a 1 in the chat if it's big? Just put a 1. Put a 1 in the chat.
Damn, Dad.
If you'll take
watching his videos coming up in this life.
What's his whole name for the gay porn? What's his whole name?
And I must say,
they call him
Rockefeller.
Y'all
Rock. El Teddy has not done his job well, because normally I'm surprised El Teddy has not dropped in the group chat a good old link for us to reference.
I mean, you really don't need one. As soon as you type his name in,
you could go in Pornhub and go to gay category and put in Rock.
Yep.
I don't know what Pornhub is. Never been there.
Do.
Girl, you lying.
Let me.
Yeah, you lying. Don't even get up here and do that.
Girl,
you're lying. Yes, you have.
Because we know you got toys right there on the desk where you at right now. You got toys right there and all in your bed. Girl, don't do it.
And girl, me too. So don't even feel bad. You ain't by yourself. Dildos, operators, and everything. You ain't by yourself, sis. Don't feel bad.
This morning we're like, "Oh, child, I'm laying in the bed." I was like, "Girl,
right."
Y'all are dumb as hell.
That's why she can't come on.
I celebrated Valentine's Day with my Bob. So anyway, all right. So okay, the guest of honor is here. Give us a thumbs up when you're ready, Kerry. Take your time. Get yourself settled. Give us a thumbs up when you're ready.
Get yourself settled. I just made it to the gay category. Now I'm going to search. Hold on.
You know what? We're doing a little bit of research, Kerry.
She gonna want him because he is packed. Now, if you want me to break down the peen, I give him about a good 9 inches, but he's girth. Rock is all about the girth. Rock got one of them. I can't put my hand all the way around it.
Right.
He's gonna give you about a good 8.5, 9 in terms of length, but that girth is what will split you in half.
Okay, Kerry, I'm sorry that you had to come in on the debauchery of the conversation. We were talking about Rock, and we were doing a little research. Okay. So I'm sorry you had to come in on the debauchery, but okay, you guys, thank you. We have our guest of honor is in the building now, Kerry D.
Hi, hey, y'all.
My God, okay. That's enough of that.
You look crazy.
Oh my God.
What he say?
I said, do I look crazy? I'm sorry, y'all.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
You're freshly released from prison, but you look good.
What you
I'm
say?
so weak. I am so weak.
What did you say?
That's it. I thought she just got out.
Okay.
That's what I thought I heard. That's why I was like,
Oh no.
honey.
oh no, release.
Too busy blowing people's minds, honey. She got to go on work release.
Listen,
Okay.
Kerry, you understand something, Kerry. That is the longest you can grow out that beard. Another half inch, TSA is not letting you through. Security. Don't go that. No further.
You better not disrespect the great Muhammad, honey.
Baby, you gonna be Muhammad and Akbar, and they is not gonna let you through TSA. Don't grow it no longer, baby. I'm telling you what
They hold my ID just a little longer when I pass through with a big beard.
Right, just a little bit. You better go on and get that pre-check. You better go on and get that pre-check.
Well, how y'all doing? Oh my God, it's okay.
We're great. I'm so glad that you were able to make it. I'm sorry it took us so long to get this coordinated, but I'm glad that you are here. But it actually worked out because you just dropped a brand new single on yesterday. So it actually worked out. And let me tell you something. I can speak for myself and I can speak for Yes Bitch. I don't know about nobody else, but that is a bop. I did enjoy it.
I did enjoy it. I heard it today.
I really was skeptical. I was like, girl, I don't know. But I was like, okay.
I went up. Last episode I'd have been skeptical also. I understand.
Okay, so let's just start at the beginning. We'll get back to we're gonna talk about Roommate. We'll get to that in a second, but let me just start with Chasing Dallas. Now we were actually blessed to have a Meeting the Cast video on you, so we did get a little bit of insight on who Kerry D is and all of that. But is there anything that maybe wasn't included that ended up on the cutting room floor, or that you wish you had said, that you know, anything else you kind of want us to know that we don't know, or whatever?
That I'm black, I guess.
Oh, well, now
so many people, and I don't mind people like wondering, you know, like questioning. Like I know I look like every race, all the races, and none of the races all together. I know I'm not surprised, but you know, when people like wonder, I'm like, okay, you're interested. But when people be like, he white, I'd be like, oh no. No, don't do that. I've done
Is that something is that something you kind of dealt with your whole life though, that people not really knowing what category to put you in?
Very much so. I can stand. I lived with my black side all my life, which let me put context. I'm mixed, right? Black and white, but I've only lived with the black side, so I don't know. Couldn't tell you the best white things to do because I don't know.
But there's no raisins in your potato salad, is what you're saying.
I think the sad part is, as black people, genuinely black people, we have lived with every shade of blackness there is. Right. And if somebody tell me you black, maybe you black. I don't even question. So I know me personally, while I may have called you boring, I have never questioned your blackness. I know you don't see it from my review. You probably don't watch my reviews. I don't know.
Oh, I watch up until we get to he boring, and you just throw me away, and I'm like, okay.
Until we get to what?
When you get to,
he said he watches up until you call him boring, and then he clicks it off.
But no, let me tell you this, Kerry, my love, my dog.
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, now it's my love. Yeah. Okay.
No, because I'm finna give him some sage advice. It's just like the people in the chat know I'm a very toned down person off camera. But when the camera comes on, I have to give the people what they want.
And I
feel like sometimes now you done gave us a mess. You have been the agent of some mess, and we have loved the fact that you have been the vessel and agent and carrier and agent zero of a lot of good mess.
You put a lot of
season, and we can appreciate that. You got more of a storyline than Dior, and I'm gonna just put that out there. Let me be quiet.
I love Dior.
I love him too. He real cute, but he ain't got no storyline. I don't know why he on there.
Because it's gonna be a great.
Well, you all right with me, Kerry. You already know that because you sung my draws off on the first episode. So I ain't got nothing bad to say about you. I live for you and I go up. Okay? Because my draws off. You good with me.
Thank you. I appreciate
now that you can sing. I will give you that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Honey, you're working, you're busy.
Yeah.
You can sing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so let me
say this real quick. All I know is that L Teddy, you get in these chats with these lovely people, and you come alive. You're so lovely, but then I watch your review, and you become. Girl, why? Like I'm watching this show. Oh my god! What about? Hold on, wait. Where is his head at? Can you give me a cap real quick so I can put it to the He'd be like, "What are y'all doing? Why can't?" I'd be like, "Do you want them on the show? I'm confused. What do you want them to do?"
Listen, I was not originally going to review this show.
Understand?
These wonderful ladies up here, Every Reviews and Really B, kind of piqued my interest. And I don't know who it was. But one of the producers or somebody from the Chasing Reality reached out to me on one of my videos and asked me to, would I review it? Fine, no problem. But if you're going to ask me to review it, hey, you're going to get
the same
what
here.
you get.
Same here.
Did you see that movie? Did you see?
I give you what I see. I give you just authentically what I see. Now, if a girl need to be read into the ground, baby, you just roll.
Right. I got you. But
it's all jokes and it's all gags. Yeah, it's never personal. I tell people the same thing. Because Ariel got upset with me when I went in and I have on her on the first episode, but she understood what it was. And she was like, well, I really don't want you to think of me in that way. I'm such and such and such. And then as the episodes progressed, I saw where she was coming from and I live for her. So it's never nothing personal when it comes to the review. Never nothing.
I'm fine with it. El Teddy just dismisses my little part. He'd be like, let me go talk to them people about their parts. And you go, Kerry.
So let me ask you a question, Kerry.
I did give Kerry. I gave you your due because I said I did like you the episode where you went out with Skeletor, Thriller. They say he looked like what's the new one they say he looked like now? The dad from the Strange Things About the Johnson. He does look like the dad from that movie. But
that's exactly what I was about to do, honey. Don't worry about it.
Okay, El Teddy, I'm about to put you in timeout. Kerry, what were you saying, sweetheart?
Hold on.
You don't even remember. You don't even remember.
I am Jean Marie. Hey.
Hey, everybody in the chat. I'm not ignoring anybody. So somebody in the chat said, can we get an intro from Kerry? Well, you sort of you were going into you were saying how you lived with the black side of your family the majority of your life, and so that's kind of. And where are you originally from again? I know you told us in your intro, but for the sake of
people who don't know me yet, I am born from Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
And I've lived here most of my life, but my people are from East Texas, so we were between Dallas and East Texas, which is like Marshall. That's where I'm from. So
okay.
This country, that's where it's coming from.
we know. Yeah. So, what is it that? Okay, are you happy with how you've been portrayed up until this point on the season?
Yeah. I'm not in nobody's beef. As much, they try, but I'm not in anybody's beef.
Okay.
I came in here.
They try.
They try.
You carried that little mini bone. You carried the mini bone, little mini bone.
I feel. I want to say something about that. No, I don't. I mean, I do think I did it, but I also think that if it would have looked like I didn't say anything at all, then it'll look fake in front of everybody just sitting there. And I was like, well, girl, you sitting here wondering why he not here. Let me talk to your friend. talk to your friend. There goes the problem. You know what I mean? And,
right. I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that you said that to Markel, kind of like, I'm not understanding why you trying to bring me in. I don't know why you trying to bring me in this mess.
Right. That was literally my as far as the show is concerned. That was my very first time really hanging with the group after at the party, and then right after that, me and Markel sit down, and I'm like, now you know this person more than I know this person. I only know this person how y'all know this person on the show. I was like, I don't know Reese like that to be even sitting here. You know, let's compare notes. Didn't really talk to Reese that night. It was like he was busy being Reese, and I was busy drinking.
I was busy drinking. Okay, so what do we have to look forward to with your storyline moving forward? Like, are we going? I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that you're boring. I would just say we haven't seen you. I feel like they're not really. Now, I appreciate that they did. Huh? What'd you say, Abby?
I said, were you present at the lingerie kerfuffle? That's what I need to know.
Yeah, are you at the lingerie party that we waiting for?
Oh yeah.
Ooh, did you throw any hands?
Who were they fighting?
Now you can go back and look at that clip. You know I wasn't throwing no hands.
Okay.
One like
ain't got nothing to do with me. I ain't windmilling nobody. I'm with him.
Oh, first of all, this is how bad it was. I mean,
I like to fight.
I don't know what they're gonna air and show y'all, but while that's going on, I'm in the back dancing with whatever. With I can't spill no details, but whatever y'all see us do, that's what I'm still doing at this time.
I know that's right.
Yeah, Kerry.
Get up to where they are. It's pretty much over. I didn't even notice everybody had left the room that we were in. I was like,
"Oh, that must have been a hell of a dance."
Kerry, I have a question for you, baby. I really want you to clear this up for me because earlier today I saw Kane's live.
Okay.
And Kane mentioned that, you know, he's not upset, but he felt a little type of way with you saying that you had to go out of town to get support for your music. And he said that he's always supported you, even off camera. So can you just please clear that up for us?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think how I said the comment is the same way he said the girls are hating on him.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, I'm not one of the girls that's hating on you, but I don't also take that and be like, oh, well, you didn't say I wasn't hating on you, you know. I don't know. It's pretty much like that. And my comment when I said it, which I guess I'll have time to clear that up, I guess, it was about everybody. It wasn't about any one particular person. It was like, we talking about production. We talking about past. It was like
Dallas, all them hoes.
Right.
Right. They could have had you sing one more sickening intro for that show. Okay.
I'm just saying, as many times as I have performed, because like how they set it up is like, hey, send us when you're performing, what you're doing, we'll come by and film it, support it. As much as I was performing, I should have been performing every episode. You should have saw a show that first episode, second episode, third. You know, like everyone.
You had a lot going on while they were filming.
That leads me to my next question.
Uh-oh.
This is a question. If you've watched any of our interviews,
hold on, El Teddy. Hold on, El Teddy, hold on. El Teddy, hold on. El Teddy, hold on. Hold on to it for a half a second.
Right.
So, just to clarify, Kerry D is saying, if the shoe fits, then wear it. If not,
right.
Okay, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
You know, we have a saying in the country, which I'm sure he know also. It's like, his dog will holler. It's like, if you know you were supported, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not. I'm not saying that he don't support. He do support. He very much do. He posts my music. I think one of the first times I met him before Chasing Dallas, it was at one of these shows. You know, I met him at a show that I was doing, but I wasn't a featured artist. I wasn't the person that people knew at that show. I was just one of these. You know, like, did you come to see me? Did you come to see a whole bunch of people? You know, but none of that was on the show itself. But it's just one. That was before Chasing Dallas. But yeah, he did support it. I would never take that from him. I love Kane down, but yeah,
Now, El Teddy, ask you a famous question.
Y'all had me died over here, girl.
Now, is that okay?
Go ahead.
Anyway, So what's up, nigga? Shout to you, boo. So I have two questions. You know, my question is gonna be about Reese G and whether or not you think it's okay for him to be executive producer as well as a cast member, because he has a say so in how much airtime you get on the show, and whether or not your stuff is truly being promoted, and whether or not the fact that you are chasing your dream is actually a part of the show. My second question is, because I already see I got to get all my stuff out now before the people upstairs that up here.
What happened?
You get something. See, they spoke. Also, inquiring minds want to know the relationship between you and Lyndon. Seeing, I don't know. I feel like y'all are more than best friends. Like, I want to ask, are y'all together? Y'all not together? That's just your good Judy, or that's just, okay? I just want to know, because y'all seem to have a very close relationship, and I love it. It's cute, and I think it's a nice thing. So I just was wondering while I watch, are they good Judys, or are they, bumping cooch?
Everybody got a thing like you. Everybody got a
bumping.
Okay.
I'll answer that one.
Books. Hey, yes, God.
You done took this bitch out the game. Look at her. Look.
That's right.
So, Kerry, the first question was, do you feel like there's a conflict with Reese G being a producer and being on the show? Do you feel that leads to undue advantage or a conflict?
If you had asked me this before the show, the first episode aired, I'd have been like, girl, he needs to just be a cast member. Because like I just said, I when there was a certain expectation given at the beginning, like, this is what you need to do. We make sure we get these things done. And I was like, okay, girl, well, I'm doing my part. Where y'all, And it was like, but there was other shit going on, like making a reality show. You got to have your drama. So I guess, certain things to me, from my vantage point, just look like, okay, that's important over there. What am I here for? But then after the first episode, I give the baby his props. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, didn't know that happened. All right. And the responses that I was getting, as far as, it was exactly what I wanted. It was like, y'all know I've watched most of y'all people who responded, who reviewed the Getting to Know Me video. Y'all clearly get that I'm here about my business. I'm here to make money. I'm here to let people know that I make music. You come with my shit, right? But I do understand I do need to come out a little bit more. I ain't trying to do that, but as it's going along, his EP hat, I respect his hat. I was like, I get that to him. So it's his shit. So you do what you want to do with it.
Most people do say, when we ask, most people say he's better as an executive producer.
Yeah,
I agree. He is as a cast member. And I think if you're going to be executive producer, do that and do it well, so that those of us who do review the show and watch the show don't feel like, okay, how are you manipulating this situation to make it advantageous toward you and your storyline? It's kind of like,
that's not his fault. That's not his fault. They're going to cut it and edit it the way they want to. And for all the ones that are working, all of the ones, even George, even everybody who's working, but they want to show Markel. What are you doing, Markel?
Okay.
What are y'all girls doing?
Look at Kerry.
I still feel like he don't need. I still feel like he don't need to be. I still feel like he don't need to be pulling a Vershandia O'Neal. I do feel like if he's going to be executive producer, he does not need to be in the cast. I don't.
Okay, well, let me just interject one small thing, because this
Abby,
was his.
You got to turn your volume up, baby.
I don't know how.
Speaking to the mic, Caroline.
Technology, y'all.
Talking to the mic, Caroline.
Just talk louder, Caroline. Just talk louder. Yeah.
Louder? Is that louder?
Just talk, baby.
Right. Okay, I just wanted to interject a small thing, that this is a very small web series, and this is birthed out of his brain. So in the beginning, the only cast member was Reese G.
Facts.
From jump.
Facts.
So you're gonna have to give him maybe a season 2 to try and wean himself out of the cast.
Yeah.
But because I know, I'll tell you didn't watch last season. So this is, they handed me mics in the chat. Jesus Christ. I'm done. Listen. So we have to give him a chance to, he may not want to be on the cast, but because the cast was so small, he didn't have he didn't have any other recourse at that time. And he was also the manufacturer of all the drama in the first season, of course, because he's
right.
Because he's the heart. He's the EP. He's the heart of the show. So give him a minute. Don't be so hard on him. He's not Shawnee O'Neal. Just
girl. Yeah.
Even Mama Scott Young realized she shouldn't host the hip hop reunion anymore and bowed out gracefully.
To figure out and how to navigate. He's never done this before.
Yeah.
So give him a minute to navigate, and then maybe he'll pull back and pull.
But I don't think he's trying to listen to nobody either.
Okay.
What happened?
There could be many truths in this conversation. But what I like that take, Abby. Did I say it right? I won't fuck
Yes.
Okay. But what I'll say to that also is that there's other shows where they tried to do that here in Dallas, like juggle many hats.
Yeah, and it's a mess. I know what you're talking. So I got you.
And I watch them all the same. I'll be like, I'll tune in, but it's like you have to know where to balance, and that was my issue, which I would be fucked up if I didn't like tell y'all. I got an apology because they could see that I wasn't getting what I needed for my work. I was like, girl, what am I here for? The first time y'all see me performing in Atlanta, y'all know that's in November. We've been shooting sets earlier
3 years ago.
Okay. Kerry, who's in the room with you? Is that Lyndon or is that the boo thing?
Neither. It's my sister.
Oh, okay. Because I know you're talking to somebody. I'm like, well, who's he talking to, girl?
And speaking of that, one of the things I like to do is we're all here because of Chasing Dallas. I want to get more into just you as a person, because what we're seeing on the screen is someone I'm very interested in, because you're not with all of the fakery and buffoonery. You're actually a real person, and your moves are very consistent. Every scene I've seen you in, you've backed up who you are. So I would like to know a little bit more, like how did you get that kind of wisdom? How do you balance that being around all of these people who are trying to convince you? You look at what Markel did, for instance. He tried his best to convince you that Reese G was this person before he really had a chance to. And your response was so elevated and mature. What makes Kerry D that way? That's what I want to know.
Thank you. I appreciate that question. I grew up. I like to think it's my granny. I grew up with her, and so right, the same one who threw me up in front of church, and she was like, "I hear something. You need to go up there and sing something." But she always told me like, first of all, you don't get in business that ain't yours. You mind your business, Right, and Lynn, my best friend Linda, he says, I like to mind my business, and I encourage you to do the same. It's like,
okay.
and I have people around me who keep me grounded. They're like, first of all, we work too hard on getting me just here, for me to fuck over he say, she said. And then first of all, they already told me before I got on this show, when they knew I was getting on it, they was like, don't let them say shit about you. Don't let them do nothing, because we ain't trying to handle them. And I was like, all right. I want no problems. No problem.
Right.
So you attribute that attitude and the way that you look at situations to your upbringing and everything. I just love that.
Thank you.
I do too, because you handle Markel very classy, base, and mature. And I said that in my video. I lived for that. You did not fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And that's what I love about you.
Because that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to reel you in.
Yeah.
He wanted you to say something about Reese so he could throw it back at whatever opportunity. And you were just like, yeah, I don't know him.
Right.
I don't know him.
I didn't see the point. Like, I was like, what you going back and like, if I did say something negative, if I did engage.
Oh, yeah, honey.
Reese don't know me from a can of paint. It's like,
Oh,
They're
right.
treating you like Antonio from this episode.
Girl, don't get me started on her. That is a whole nother episode for a whole to see.
Baby,
Yes,
we done been
start something. That's
you
late.
know
We
what,
need to get Antonio back over here.
We do.
Kerry D.
We
I
sure
hope
do.
that because I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. I think Reese and the executive producers watch our little interviews that we have, because if y'all notice, every time we interview somebody, the next episode they be talking about that person more than they did before, and we be like, wait a minute, how that happened? But I want to ask you this, Kerry D. What is something that you want us to know about you that doesn't come through via the this platform, via Chasing Dallas, or can we look at it and say, oh, that's just the real Kerry D and ain't nothing else to know about Kerry D? What do you want us to know? Because as reviewers, the one thing that I love when we have these interviews is we get a whole new perspective on an individual, and it kind of changes our outlook on that person when we watch them on the episode, because we do have a little more insight, because we do have a little, perspective, or okay, this is a little more that we did not know. So what is it that we or the general public should know about Kerry D that doesn't come off in or on this platform?
Honestly, I don't know if everything we've done that you've seen, like if I'm hiding anything or like there's something you don't know yet. If you notice from like the first episode as we're going, I'm getting more comfortable around them. So like at first I'm very like, I'm real guarded with how I answer a question, or I'm real, like I have to think about what I say, because everybody like me apparently on like in the cast. We ain't got nobody beefing with me, but I don't. Right. I also don't ruffle feathers like that. But as the episodes are coming along, I'm like, oh girl, I don't give a damn. Go and roll the camera, like Right. And I'm socially awkward in most new spaces, so like I tend to be really to myself most of the time. But then if I know you, the more I know you, the more of the ghetto bitch you see here, I become.
Okay.
To piggyback off of what you're talking about, being comfortable with yourself, can you speak a little bit to your growing up and your experiences or struggles, if any, in the coming up LGBT, how's that coming out, how your family feels, friends, did you lose anybody, the whole spiel, honey, about, your experience with being, part of the community.
Yeah. So growing up, I grew up in a very Southern Baptist home. And so we went to church every day. Oh, if there was a day to be in church, we were there. My granny was the one who had she was like over the youth, but she had like a key to the church when nobody could be at church.
What denomination? Baptist?
Christian? Oh yeah, Baptist. Yeah,
Baptist. Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so she'd be the person that go around and pray on the walls of the church and like pour the oil on it. Like we that
now.
Mm-hmm. Come on,
we got a couple of them in the room.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I grew up. As weird as this is going to sound, I didn't grow up thinking I was different, or I didn't grow up thinking I was wrong for who I was, or being gay and all that good jazz. But I also didn't have the word for it. Like when the first time I thought about who I was, they was like, my granny was like, well, boys like girls and girls like boys. I was like, okay, well, I'm a girl. That makes sense. like I made sense.
Now, we had that whole conversation earlier today.
I mean, and I came to it just like that, and I was like, okay. But then as I got older, I was like, no.
Oh yeah,
I'm too lazy.
Kerry D, as a singer, I gotta ask you
this. He's not done. Let him finish.
I thought he was done. I'm sorry.
And I mean, there are still things I'm working on, like to talk about, like things I've been through as a child. You get even though we was in a tight knit Christian home, you have people who will prey on you just because of what they see in you. Like you, as a kid, I didn't have the words. Like I didn't have the words earlier. And I appreciate it, because I saw that and I was like, I relate to that so much just because there are people who knew about me before I knew about me, you know, and I could do nothing about that. But then they took advantage of those situations. Getting older, I had to like, oh Lord have mercy. I don't know how off track I'm getting, but my dad would take me from my granny at times because he wanted to be a daddy, I guess. He wasn't really good at it. But we would end up homeless sometimes, like so there was things to survive to like like you had to like transform into your environment to make sure you didn't miss out on anything. Let's see. I don't. Good question, but
yeah, you're fine. Just ask about your LGBT. I guess your LGBT story, but I mean, you're fine with whatever you're comfortable sharing with us in reference to that. Yeah.
And in that outlook on the LGBT community, because we see there's a lot of dysfunction in it, and I just wanted to know you get your take on that too. But you can finish answering.
No, you're good. Funny enough, I didn't. I don't know if I had just a delusional thought of our community as a whole, because I didn't see any of the negative right away. But I also coming out of I was 17, getting into a 7-year relationship, so I was like, by the time I got out of it, I'm like, oh, there's a club. There are people who do things, and like people had to educate me on like, girl, can't trust everybody. Everybody ain't your friend. But I also like to look for good in people, because I think certain narratives are instilled in us because of people who don't know us. You know what I mean? And we carry that into our community. Yeah, it helps toxify it more, if that makes any sense. But what's I gonna say? There was you had said something. Yes. Shit, I done lost it. I'm sorry, y'all.
It's fine. I think you gave a good answer. I love it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, absolutely. Definitely learn more than what we already knew. So let's transition into the music. Yeah. So you were a solo artist, but recently you have teamed up with your friend Landon. I'm sure. You guys have created a group, Roommate, which I think the name is cute. The way you spell it is really cute.
Thank you.
So tell us about like your decision to go to be in a group. Usually people do it the other way around. So to go from a group to solo, but you've gone from solo to working with, and I mean, it seems like you guys are really good friends. So is it just for this one project, or are you guys really trying to create this group as like your ongoing thing?
Well, it is definitely an ongoing thing, even since my first project, he's been right next to me, like helping me put music together. Excuse me. He has music out. We've worked well together, and he's been my friend for more than like 10 plus years. That's my goon right there. I love him. Okay. As we started to live together, because we moved in this apartment after my breakup with my ex, and I just put out a private home. And as we were as we were living together, we was like, okay, let's continue making music. We got to keep this ball rolling. And so eventually we started performing. I started performing places, and I was like, I need to move. I don't want to stay in Dallas anymore. And so because Dallas you can only do so much here, right? It's music wise. And so my goal was either New York, Atlanta, and the place that we're moving to, which is LA. But that was Lyndon's gut. He wanted to move to LA. And I was like, okay, cool. So certain signs started to develop as we were going through it. We had wrote Blow Your Mind maybe a year ago. And we were like, if we can't make music here, then we don't deserve to leave here and try to go make it somewhere else. We need to be able to do like I already put out DNA. I knew how to do that. I was like, if we can't just do another one of these, we need to make sure before we don't need to move, and we're doing it.
I want to make a suggestion real quick.
Say what?
I want to hear more ballads from you.
You want to hear more ballads from me?
Ballads.
Oh, got you. They're coming. They're coming.
Yeah.
A lot of the ways that we've been making music lately has been like we'll find an instrumental, we'll pay for the instrumental, and we'll write to it. But a lot of those are chopped a certain way where it's like a ballad wouldn't sound cute here.
Okay, I hear.
Right.
But as I've been getting back and diving more into my writing, there are certain ways where I'm like I need to get with somebody who can play, somebody who can like create the music I want to hear, because I have a couple of ballads written. Here's
a quick tea. You can utilize your local. A lot of these schools that do performing arts, they provide free services for the students to get the experience.
Or go to the local university. Go to the music, the School of Music in your local university, and a lot of those musicians will do and help and write for you. Even if you just have a melody in your ear and you say, I got this tune in my ear, can you help me out? Can you play? And they will really. I know a lot of my friends who are in the music industry have done that.
I'm gonna have to do that. I think what I have an issue with is that I want to pay somebody to do it because I want that energy given back to me, because I don't want to sing for free. I want that the people who are on my projects, who are helping, or even somehow getting compensated. You know what I mean?
And some of the compensation can come in the form of, even if my friend teamed with the professors and the school itself, and by that student working with an artist, it gave them credit, and they were able to get things that were going toward their degree, which could help them, and different things like that. I do have a question about the music, because that's my thing with you with the music. So as a connoisseur of music, a musician myself, a connoisseur of music, I need to know, as a singer, top 3 female, top 3 male. Go.
Oh my God! Wait. Okay.
Yeah, I want to know.
You're not gonna help me. You're gonna help me with this one. Okay. My top 3 females are always changing, because
of all time,
honey.
Abby, you in charge.
Okay. Whitney Houston.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Layla Hathaway.
Yes.
Ooh, I'm gonna have y'all gonna judge me, and I don't give a damn. But Beyonce.
Oh no!
I don't judge you. I understand. I understand.
So you're gonna put Beyonce against Mariah Carey?
Well, keep in mind, I grew up in gospel, right? So hold on, I'm gonna give it to you. Hold on, real quick. But so I wasn't allowed to listen to a lot of secular music, so I would sneak and listen to like what I thought was like, the bad channel, which was like Radio Disney. And so keep in mind.
Baby said Radio Disney.
But the very first singer that I heard that sounded like what I was used to was Destiny's Child, was Beyonce. And so I latched on to it. I was like, oh no, this isn't Britney Spears. This isn't the white bitch. Hold on. Who is this? And no offense, but I couldn't relate to any of the other singers. And I was like, that was the first one. So I have a fondness of her. But I appreciate and respect all of my queens.
Oh, male, go to male. You did your female, and I'm side-eyeing you and judging you.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Adequately adjudicated.
So one of my favorites is B Slade. He used to be called Tone.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Some people, like, I followed that man's voice ever since I first heard Lord Make Me Over. I was like, oh, gotta do that.
I praise dance to that, so I get it.
Okay.
Come on, so have I.
Come on, praise dance.
Do y'all know the group Mint Condition?
Yes. Are you serious?
Yeah. Stokely has always been my favorite.
Stokely. I love Stokely.
Down.
Now, what? Linda's not here, but there's this. Okay, he can't be my third thing. I can't think of his name. Who else? B Slade, Tone. Not Tone. God damn it. Who am I thinking of?
Now, forgetting we still got Brian McKnight here. We still got Maxwell.
Yeah,
we
you
still
done left out a whole lot of people.
vocalists. You know, we got all these men out here now. Come on now.
Look, I didn't like men's voices back in the day. So of all time, it was always women voices that I related to.
Mm.
And
I
you
love
named
Kelly Price. How dare me? Oh my gosh.
I love Kelly Price's voice.
Yeah, Kelly Price is everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Shit, I can't think. I don't want to just give it to any guy. It has to be the right one.
It's too many. It's so many. Somebody said
That's what she said.
Maxwell, because you know we loves us some Maxwell.
You better believe it.
Everything.
Brian McKnight. It doesn't fit the song. I think he's a guy.
Y'all know how I feel about Brian McKnight now. Y'all know how I feel
Brian
about Brian.
I love Brian McKnight.
And his sons.
Yeah.
Yeah. All
Girl,
his
his son's so damn fine. Lord have mercy, Jesus.
I'm sorry, y'all. Listen.
I have a question
It's
real quick,
okay.
and I don't want to take it away from the music because I know that's a subject we're on, but you said something that made me think about something you said in the episode that just aired about you identifying with your black side than your white side. Where does that disdain come from? I know where mine comes from, but can you speak for yourself on where does that disdain come from that I feel when you say that, like what you said earlier about like that white bitch Britney? So that really just makes me ask that question.
Got you. So growing up, I grew up like I said earlier. I grew up only knowing my black side. Like I met my mama, my real mother, only maybe once after birth. You know, and for whatever reason, no, it's not like we have a bad relationship, but my disdain for being called white is that I'm not like it's just I'm not white. Like white people have put a really bad taste in my mouth for the suffering that that's happened. And so like I recognize I have privilege. I recognize that I have look. I see my skin tone. I know y'all see it too. It's I'm not oblivious to it, but a lot of times I've lived being black so much that when black people also be like, "You white," I be like, "No, bitch, no, no, bitch, no, bitch." Let this happen too long. It kinks. Like I'm black, and I think it's dismissive to be like you're white, and then because people.
That's why I told you don't grow that beard out no more.
Like,
that's why I told you don't grow that beard out no longer, because baby, I'm not gonna let you through.
So you said you seem a little hesitant. So if you're not comfortable speaking on it yet, that's fine. You guys are getting ready to make a big move. You said you guys are getting ready to head out to LA, which congrats and good luck to you. But what's the plan? What's the plan?
Well, with the current job I have, because she still works a 9 to 5.
Okay. Look,
I'm not mad at it, but
not at all.
Now that the single is blowing up the way I want it to, if it continues to go in that direction, she won't want to, work after that. But my job has an office there in LA. I've already talked to them about transferring. So we're talking about transfer, and I got some people already out there. So the person who engineered all of my music so far, he travels there, and he got some connections for me that he's just been waiting for me to just go so that he can link me up with those connections.
Okay.
I know that's right.
So you said the single's blown up, so the single is doing well.
It's doing nice. I mean, it's, just one day. So I mean, it's just probably doing nice right now. But we're gonna keep pushing to throughout the season. You'll get to see the process of us putting this single together. You'll get to see the studio time, and now that I can't spill anything else, but you'll also get to see other things that will also be released later. So
Okay.
Yeah. I have a question, Kerry.
Of course.
Because I'm the agent of all things debaucherous. Is the D for your last name, or is the D because you're trying to tell us something? Because you got
right. Go ahead and answer.
And also, are you single? Because the people may want to know.
Right.
Are you single? Because we want to know, is that D a big D?
Put that glass down, Teddy.
Okay. The D behind Kerry D is actually for my first name. Kerry is my middle name. I do not like my first name. There's not really good of it. So yeah, so that's where Kerry D comes from. Am I single? Yeah, I don't trust people enough to.
Don't feel bad. Me too.
Yeah,
me 3.
Yeah.
But listen, I will say this. For one, for everybody that want to know, I'm drinking Jose Cuervo Gold, okay?
That
but
was my goal.
I'm drinking Jose Cuervo. Yes.
All right, I'm classy based. That's why it's in a martini glass. That's one.
Okay.
I love
it's not like this, okay?
I love in the episode when Miss Girl, who I feel like she was rude as hell, when she asked you, "Is you singing?" and you turned to her and you gave her a nasty gospel run.
Right. I was like, what?
Yeah. I went up. I said, yes, God, that's how you do it. Can I say? You gave it to her, and I was all here for it.
I appreciate the love. I do. Now, I just want to get this off my chest. Ooh.
Yeah, talk about the venue. Talk about this whole situation. I need information.
Hold on. I have to shout Ebby out real quick because I saw your review on it, and you damn near spot on. The only thing I wasn't tired, I was drunk, and that was my first.
Oh, okay.
The first time I had ever performed drunk. So what the episode aired, so just so if anybody want to know, I don't sing to my tracks. I was singing live, and then the track comes on during the hook. Now, what the show did was air my performance and laid my track on top of it.
Oh.
Because if you notice, I'm like running underneath it, and it's like,
yeah.
If I'm singing to a track, I might as well lip sync for my life at that point.
Right.
But at that moment,
you that up.
That clears up a whole lot.
Yeah.
I come from a family of singers, and I was like, it doesn't quite match. And so now that you tell me that cleared up
it makes a lot
for me.
That makes a lot of sense.
We were driving because I did the after show that night. We were driving to the spots where we did it, and I was like, who the fuck is this? Why is that happening? But then when I heard that last note, I said they are shady as fuck to spotlight that high note. Because the audience, I don't know I don't know how they shot it, because all I know, I think there was only one camera. So when you see the people, they're showing them those people at different times. The people that I saw, they were live when I performing, So I'm feeding off the energy there. But then mind you, I'm drunk, so I don't recall her even asking, am I singing? And I was like, why?
I cussed her out for you. Don't even worry about it.
He sure did. In his review, he sure did it.
Thank you.
She did it.
I appreciate it. And I was like, did I really do that? Oh, okay. Well, got it.
Yes, you did. but you should have. Well, that makes a lot of sense. So, let me ask you this about the hookup with Oliver. Was that as organic as it seemed, that Oliver invited you to record with him, and then he was like, hey, since you're here, do you want to perform? I mean, because let me say something now. Everybody, I love Oliver, and
I don't like Oliver like that. I don't see it.
I saw Oliver do that.
You know your rude ass.
I don't see it.
Right. Okay. We have
Oliver and his high-ras booty. Okay, I love.
Okay, the girls go for Oliver,
but I saw
girls is fighting.
Wow, look. But I saw him do that in Baltimore, where he, brought in local, embraced and reached out to local artists. So I know that's something that he does do. So he reached out to you to record with him, or how did that work out?
So,
and are we going to hear from you guys soon, like a collab with you guys?
You are going to hear a collab. I don't now. It's not on my project, so I don't know when that's coming out. So you have to speak to Oliver about her.
Okay,
but around the time that I got, because Oliver asked me to come down there to record, and I was like, cool. That's all I knew I was doing at the time. And then he was like, would you be down to perform? Because I had told him right before that, I was like, I'm not doing no more performances. I'm tired for the year. Mentally, I was like feeling like I was drained. I was going this way for the show, this way for my shows, and it was just, I'm tired. I ain't doing no more. I need to get back to me, right? But then he was like, well, it's in Atlanta. And I was like, I performed in Atlanta a couple of times, but it was like, might as well. I mean, this is attached to the show, and I was like, might as well. And I think it was the same weekend that Reese had like a birthday something that happened that night, and I wasn't able to go there because
he was homeless in Atlanta.
Say what now?
Was this when Reese was homeless in Atlanta? I thought I heard that on somebody's live.
What you mean she was? We're gonna talk after.
No, that came out
openly.
I don't know nothing about it.
They were open about that. Reese lost his apartment or something, but did not know where he was staying in Atlanta for a little bit.
That was Markel. That was Markel when he was reading Reese. I'm not saying it's not true, but that came from Markel.
Oh, okay. I was like, y'all know, like I say,
her credibility is fucked.
Huh?
Yeah, that came from Markel. So, child.
Her credibility's been fucked.
Did you go to the Den while you were in Atlanta?
What's that?
Oh, okay.
Clearly, I ain't been, huh? I would know.
We'll wait for the after party. That's gonna be on the after party. We'll talk about the Den and the after party.
Okay.
Let me just say, Kerry, I'm sure it's connected to something sexual, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Anyway,
the girls know what the Den is.
Anywho, so we've been dropping the link in the chat. So if you guys have not already downloaded the single, y'all need to go and make sure you download the single now. I'm telling y'all, I don't want to get no copyright, so I ain't playing it on here. But y'all going to get the song, y'all going to download it. It's look, y'all got it. It's what?
Wait, I don't think you'll get copyright because I didn't get that feature this time for the single right away. So
well, then I might play a little snippet before we get off here.
Snippet, girl, because you know YouTube be tripping.
Yeah. Also, Kerry D also has an EP on iTunes as well, so you guys can go and get his EP.
Yes, please and thank you.
See, so you said that's on that's gonna be on Oliver's project.
The collab, yes. It'll. I don't know if he released any details about what it is, but I mean,
okay.
You know,
Kerry, can I ask when is the reunion? Because all of us reviewers are wanting to know, can we be in attendance at said reunion? I'm 2 hours away in Central Texas, so I would clearly drive up and go in and let have at said reunion, and they better have
the money. That's why you get no invitation.
You know, they normally do close set though.
Yeah, well, I was like, as far as I know, it's a close set. As far as I know, it's a close set.
What I'm saying is, I think they're going to need an audience, and I think it would be good for the audience to be.
No, he doesn't do an audience. That's what he's saying. He doesn't. Reese doesn't do an audience. Reese has a closed reunion, and he only if you have a press pass. So like last year, he said I could come to the reunion. I just couldn't get to Dallas. If he knows you're a reviewer of the show, you're in the media, you can come, but it's not open to the public. It's not an open.
You know, Reese ain't sending me nothing, honey.
That's why I said you're not getting.
Okay, have you seen any of the Chasing Atlanta reunions?
I don't watch Chasing Atlanta. I have.
And girl, so nice as well.
You never use. You understand why we're not gonna have an audience. We're not gonna have an audience. But as far as it is, I think we have a meeting tomorrow about it. So I don't know.
Well, can you tell him that L Teddy 27 official?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
And my friend Scotty, we want all three of us want to come.
I want to press.
Yes, Mr. Still Standing.
Yeah. Drop to Dallas, and get a press.
And listen, Kerry D, I'm about to get real messy right now. How do you feel about Reese G's confessional look so far?
Hold on.
Listen, the team is going to beat me up if I don't ask. So I'm asking, okay? I don't work for Chasing Dallas, so I'm just asking. How do you honestly feel about her confessional look so far?
Wait, but let me preface anything I'm about to say with I ain't nobody's a fashionista. I don't.
Right, but you can give your honest, because I gave mine.
He said, "I gave mine."
Right. What is the skeleton right here? What's this say?
Yeah, okay, girl, she dead. That's basically.
Oh my gosh. It's not my flavor of tea.
He's a mess. Let me say it for you. He's a damn mess.
I think he do it on purpose. I think you get those reactions. I think he wears what he wears so y'all can react the way y'all do.
Exactly.
Because I
don't think I broke our gag reflex, knowing that I, as a gay man, don't have a gag reflex.
Okay, me.
I like this makeup.
Yeah, when it's toned down, but when it's all caked up and based all up here, and then the doily all down here, I like Reese.
No,
just regular hair, minimum makeup, a nice little shot. Like this episode, I live.
Yeah.
Now the rest of that bull crap, I believe Reese.
And we get them to make you the makeup person because King Kane, y'all know is my boo. I love King Kane. That is my boo. Meal in these streets from my boo King Kane. But they be having too much makeup on him during his stuff, and I don't be liking that because he has good skin. He's not ugly. That's my boo, and I will windmill with you about my boo King Kane.
Right.
But the makeup be all wrong, and they need to get Ebby on there to go and do the makeup.
Speaking of debaucherous and all that kind of stuff, and we're talking about King Kane in the same sense. When you guys were at Markel's party, obviously you were feeling the moment, honey. Anybody on the cast do you find, attractive or you would consider?
Right, that's a good question.
And what did we not see that went down? That was
he answered one question at a time.
Right.
Just one.
What was the first question? Was that who I like?
We saw you and King Kane kissing down at the Markel's sex party.
Yeah, we saw him. We saw
him down, and I hate to have to fuck you up about my boo King Kane.
No, I love King Kane down, but
I'll fuck you up.
In my opinion of that night, it was boring, so I thought that me doing what I did was gonna spice it up a little bit, give a little because okay, so if I'm gonna give the show my own notes, but it's like explain what the game was.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird. I was a little confused when I saw it. Then I saw Georgina thugging down Markel, and I said, "Wait a minute, how did we get to that?
Right?
Like, what was that?"
So at the game that I was involved in, it was like a spin the bottle, truth or dare situation. So it's like you spin the bottle, it lands on somebody, you either kiss them or you pull out of the bowl to do the truth or dare. Yeah. When it was my turn, I spent the bottle. It didn't really land on nobody. So I was like, well, I'm done, right? Let me take my shot and go on back. They were like, no, pull out the bowl. The bowl had a dare in it that says, not only are you kissing one person, you're going to kiss two people, which I was supposed to be blindfolded. Mm-hmm. And I was supposed to tell the group who was the better kisser out of the two.
That sounds like an excuse for Markel to have some girl. Y'all better make sure y'all ain't on nobody's Pornhub, girl. He probably had a whole
Markel looked like you need a penicillin
upon your ass down. And I was here for that scene. I ain't even gonna hold you.
I will. So to be messy, who was the better kisser then? To be messy, who was the better kisser?
Kane. Kane was a better kisser.
Kerry, I would hate to have to fuck you up. Kerry, I love you.
I can be honest.
I'm here for it.
But they were good in two different ways though. Like if I was thinking about it right now, I would want Kane like that kind of kiss. But
okay,
if something was going down, Rock kiss would be perfect.
Yeah, because Rock, girl, his tongue was all out before Markel cop blocked and pushed you out the way. I was here for this. I know George.
Guys. Kerry, I would hate to have to beat you down about King Kane. I would hate to.
Lord. Oh my God. It's all you, boo. Oh, what did I say?
He said it's all you.
We gotta get you on that money.
Well, it's been okay. So it's been about an hour, Kerry, I thank you for your time. Are there any final questions? And then we're just gonna play a little bit. We'll play a little snippet of your new single. But are there any questions? Any final questions that anybody wanted to ask? Anything you wanted to follow up on before we play a little snippet for everybody to hear?
Say, you've been great. You know, I know we roast, gag, and joke, but you have been phenomenal. We all about the shits and giggles over here. We have a good time. We'll talk a little more in the after party. So when we go off, don't go nowhere because we do have the after party.
Okay.
But no, I want to say, you know, you've been great, and all of the people that come on are always phenomenal with us. And you all open up yourself and your lives to us. You don't have to. We just hope that you all appreciate what we do as reviewers, because we don't come from a place of malice. When we do say bad things, that's because that might be what we see, and we don't want to be unauthentic, with our subscribers and people who watch us. So just know that there's no place of malice. We don't come out of a place of hate. We don't hate anybody because we don't know any of y'all. But when I do come to Dallas, don't act like you don't know a bitch when you see a bitch. Okay. I see you. I see you over there looking crazy, Kerry. Don't act like that, girl.
Kerry, say you don't know you. Look,
real quick, I just want to say thank you yet again for doing this. It was wonderful getting to know more about you. As the season progresses, I'm sure we're going to have you back on. Your music is everything. I love how you stand firm in who you are. You know who you are. You're comfortable in your own skin, and it definitely shows on how you translate it to the screen with everybody. And let me leave you with this. You know, I'm always gonna come for the real shit, honey. Let these girls be who they're gonna be. Because guess what's gonna happen? At the end of their days, they got to answer for their fuckery. That's right. As long as you know you stepping in kindness, serving truth and justice to the girls, and slaying with the vocals on these bitches, you're good, honey.
Thank
you. About them. Don't let them dissuade you and move you from who you are.
Thank you. I appreciate
it. Giving you the real tea. You have any thoughts?
I do. I want to say I absolutely adore you. Thank you so much for coming up here and giving us your real. And I'm looking forward to seeing everything that you have to give. I'm not like everybody else. I love you. I really want to see what you have to give.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Oh, Abby, any final thoughts, comments, questions?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Kerry, thank you so much for coming by and visiting us. I know some of us is a little much.
Go back.
And then some of us is a little extra in things. But thank you so much for participating. We really appreciate it. We can't wait to have you come back. Hopefully we get to see more of you as the season progresses. You know.
Yeah.
We love you.
Thank you.
Is that it? We got any
That's
church
it. I'll just piggyback on what everybody said. I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for coming through, being a good sport, answering all the questions, and just being authentically you. I really do enjoy you on the show, and I really do enjoy your music. If I didn't, you would know. So we're just gonna play a little snippet of the new single "Blow Your Mind," and it's from Room 8. It's on. Abby's been dropping the link.
Thank
so
you.
Y'all can go on and download it. Y'all got that $1.29. Y'all can go on and grab it.
Okay, we gotta eat.
Hold on, y'all. Somebody at my door, girl. God damn.
Uh-oh. Maybe you need this song. Maybe you need this song. Now I did want to ask you about the choke me. The choke me. I mean, are we?
Yeah.
Speaking of the choke me,
we're all down for a little erotic asphyxiation.
Do you have a safe word?
Right. What is your safe word?
Are you as nasty as the song, or is that just a persona?
Yeah, it's that's me.
You can save it for the after party. No, you save it for the after party. After party.
All right, you guys.
What I hear about Kerry and Nasty?
Everybody on the panel, hold tight for a second. Everybody else, I want to thank you guys for coming through, hanging out in the chat. If we didn't get to your questions or didn't acknowledge your questions, I'm sorry. Thank you to everybody. If I didn't get a chance to speak to you again, I'm sorry. But everybody, the link to everyone's channel is in the description box. Please go to everybody and show some love. If you haven't visited, y'all go check out the other reviews. We all review the show. Check us out. You might find a new friend, honey. You might find a new friend. And Kerry's music is streaming on all streaming services. You can go to iTunes, Spotify, blah, 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 blah. Okay?
And just want to shout out George real quick was in the building.
Hey, George.
He's under Black. He's under the Black Cobra 88. Yeah,
that's George.
That's George. So shout out to George, honey. We got to get you on next.
George, you up next, boo.
I'm about to say, come, catch up with us. Come hang out with us, Georgina.
Yeah. Well, girl, you might not want me on the panel because I got some questions. Okay.
Yeah, we do have questions, Birkenstock.
Yeah. We got questions. Why did you have that?
He can come because he kind of over
here. Bye. I'm hitting the damn button.
Thank you again, guys. Love you.
Love y'all.
We had this time.